We talked about it earlier, and by now I'm sure you've seen it on the news or read about it. The number of carjackings in Chicago has more than tripled so far from a year ago at this point. One Hyde Park woman is doing something about it, and she joins us now. Community actionist Afrika Porter. Hi, Afrika.
Hey Ryan, how you doing? I miss you guys.
Hey Afrika, good to see you. And listen,
Hey,
this is
Sam.
such a hey girl, this is such an awful topic, that the fact that we're even here in Chicago. But for you, you've had 3 friends carjacked in a 72-hour period. This impacted you in a big way.
Absolutely. You know, when I saw it, at first it was like maybe 70 in one weekend, and then it was like 175 in 20 days. Then I kept seeing my girlfriends posting about it. They're putting their children in the car. They're putting their grandchildren in the car. I'm like, hold on, wait a minute now. We got to do something about this. So immediately I just got on the phone, you know, because when I see my sisters, I see myself, you know, so seeing them, it was like it was happening to me. So I instantly got on the phone with some men that I already talked to, that are already working in the community, and we got together and we started, you know, demonstrating and getting together to solve this problem.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there that are scared. They want to do something about it. They don't know how to do something about it and don't want to take matters into their own hands. What are you doing specifically?
So we have started to galvanize and organize men to come together from all over the city and the state. We've gotten calls and emails from people all over the country, actually. They want to volunteer and come stand with us and help and support. And we have designated locations where women can feel safe and get gas, you know, with their children, get their food, get their groceries out of the store, what have you, and come back to their car and feel safe. Mm-hmm. You know, so men are organized in all different areas, all over the city, south side, west side, north side, suburbs, you know.
Yeah. And, you know, this isn't really just about, you know, Black men being bodyguards, but this is possibly a time for the Black men to also impact and influence in a different way, right? Talk about that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, you know, that's the thing. So the carjacking is just one issue, but we've already been rebuilding the Black family already. This is not new. It just so happens that this has taken a toll in terms of the numbers and the increasing amount of carjackings happening. So your Stephen Dejois, your Corey Parhams, your Tyrone Muhammad's, your attorney, you know, Ernest Fenton, you know, and Mark Quinn McDonald, these men, Teal Hardeman, they have been doing this work already, you know, consistently, constantly in their professional lives. And outside of that, when their spare time, they're already in the community demonstrating and helping. So this was like something that we had already been talking about. It just so happened that the carjacking took a toll on it. So we decided to put energy into that space right now.
Yeah. Are you getting support from the city?
You know, we did recently have a town hall discussion. I know that my Alderman Sophia King, is going to have a conversation on tonight. Congressman Bobby Rush has done one where Stephen Dejois was a part of that. You know, so I think the city is coming together. There was an aldermanic and a Black caucus, you know, that got together and did one. I think the city is coming together and having the conversation around what to do, how, and when. And they're also putting out some public service announcements as well.
Yeah. You know, the thing, I'm listening to you, Afrika, and I'm thinking about this, and it's not, the carjackings aren't just on the south and west side. This is like a citywide problem. You got folks on the north side, these suburbs. I mean, what do you say to that? It's just spread like wildfire.
Absolutely. It's happening everywhere, and not just unique to Chicago. It happened yesterday in Minnesota. It was about 7 there. It's about 14 in Georgia. I mean, about 4 in Ohio. It's happening, you know, consequently across the country. So I just think that, you know, like I said before, you know, when men stand up, little boys sit down. We have to echo that. We have to be about the business of protecting each other and caring for each other. It's not black and white. It is everyone, because we all have to go get gas. We have to get groceries. We all have to eat. We all have to live. Things are opening up a little bit. So we already have a pandemic, and we have a pandemic on top of the pandemic. Right. So how do we do that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're already trying to get our food and have a mask on, and now our health is at risk, and now our safety is at risk. We have to work together. I believe we are our own solution.
Since you have talked to victims, are you seeing similarities in each of these crimes?
You know, it's interesting. I talked to one of my girlfriends last night, and she's already relocated. Another one that was carjacked 2 weeks ago, she's considering relocating. She is looking to put her house up for sale, you know, and that's the unfortunate, because Chicago is a great city. You know, sometimes I think they're looking for the vulnerable woman with children, sadly. You know what I mean? So that's another reason why these men are so important with what they're doing and how they're standing there being present, making sure women can feel safe.
Well, what about a certain particular vehicle? I've been hearing certain cars are targeted more than others. Are you hearing that?
I am. I was told that there were some Jeeps that they were looking at. They're looking at Dodge vehicles as well. And at some point, it's just random. Sometimes it's not even about, the carjacking as much as it is about the joyride. So it's multifaceted. You know what I'm saying? There's a plethora of reasons, and people is not as organized as we may think. However, we want to focus on the men that are doing the work and the men that are creating these safe spaces and these community first safe passages.
Right. Earlier in the show, I don't know if you saw it, but we talked about this in host chat. And there are some people who are very critical of Kim Foxx. Then there are other people like, it's not her, it's the judges that are letting these kids out after 10 days or whatever the case may be. Where do you think the problem lies, and how do we get to the root of solving that in terms of the justice once they are caught?
That's a very interesting question. I did get to see, State's Attorney Kim Foxx the other night on the town hall with Congressman Bobby Rush and others. And I think it's a fine line. Do we want to lock up 12 and 13 and 14-year-olds? Will that rehabilitate them? Will that really help them to understand whatever they're dealing with, to motivate them to do what they're doing? I don't think that's the answer. I don't. I do think that we need to do something. And I think those things come into play when you have your Enoch Muhammad's who have your hip hop detox, when you have your Voice to Men Foundation, when you have your Tara Muhammad's who have the ex-con organizations. I think these organizations are on the ground, boots on the ground, rebuilding the family, rebuilding the structure, mentoring. We have to have that. Philip Jackson, he had the Black Star Project here, rest in peace, and he had the Million Father March. This was men taking their children to school every first day of the school. What happened from there, they continue to be active in the school, right? Because it's going to catch, because you're taking them to school the first day, you're excited, you're motivated. So we have to come back and bring it back to the family, and we have to just be encouraging and support each other even all the more, because guess what? We all we got. We are all we got.
Right. I do believe there is some truth in that.